Well, good evening and welcome to About the Valley, a special summer edition. And the reason we're doing a summer edition is I got a couple of guests here that are going to talk about an event that's coming up a week from Saturday. Glad it's not Saturday because they're talking rain.
I know.
So a week from Saturday. But before that, I want to make a quick announcement here. The Northbridge Senior Center is having a car wash on Saturday, September 15th. Let's hope it doesn't rain then, too. For between 9 and 2. And it's $7 a car, and it's going to take place at Advanced Auto Parts at 277 Church Street. And this is being sponsored by the Friends of Northbridge Elders. And they're younger than the elders, so don't worry about getting your car washed properly. You can take a ride over there on September 15th. We'll bring that up again. But let me introduce my guests here. We've got Brendan Elster and Sarah Lawson from the Whitinsville Community Center. And they're here tonight to talk about Cars in the Park, the 5th annual Cars in the Park. Mm-hmm. We used to have a car show with the American Legion. It's amazing what some of these cars look like.
Oh my gosh.
And we're not talking just the standard, yeah, you get some good classic cars, but they got some stuff that comes in that's just unbelievable.
They really do. Yeah, the variety of cars is just phenomenal.
It is, and we're in the details of it. If you have a car and you want to display it, mm-hmm. bring it in. There are going to be trophies awarded, mm-hmm. but the cost is, if you pre-register, is $10, and you probably go another few days to pre-register.
Right. Yes.
And then the day of the show is $15.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
If you're going to come in and just look at the great cars that are there, it's free.
Yes.
But you can make a donation.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we used to do here. We used to take donations. Admission was free, but if you want to make a donation, the community center can always use the donation. It costs a lot of money to run that place.
It does, yes.
And not only that, they may run this, and they also run the Rockdale Youth Center.
Mm-hmm. So
they're pretty well, they got a lot of things going, and it's not cheap to run all this stuff.
Yeah, we're always trying to come up with new programs, too.
Yeah, and you have a lot of programs going on. But of course, Cars in the Park, this is a great thing. You're going to have food trucks there.
Yes.
So there'll be plenty of food to eat. How many food trucks are you talking?
So we have 5 food trucks that are
5
coming.
of them, so a good assortment.
Yes, there's a wide variety of food that anybody can choose from.
Yeah, I know you have the food truck weekend
Mm-hmm.
that you bring a whole bunch of them in.
Yeah, there's 18 plus that come to that event,
It's
which is Wooed by the Food, which was back in June. And
Yeah.
then we also have the one that's in October coming up on October 13th called the Fall Food Festival. So
oh, that's
equally
going
as
to
big.
involve the food trucks as well?
Yes, yeah.
I know, I saw that. Yeah, okay, yeah, and that's where I saw it, the Fall Food Festival, which is the 2nd annual one.
Mm-hmm.
October 13th. Well, that's a Saturday, so it's not Friday the 13th. But
I missed it. We're good.
yeah, and you're going to have the pumpkin patch, the bouncy house, the cornhole, and entertainment. Are your bands coming in, or
Yeah, we have 2 live bands that are coming, and they're local.
have you got any entertainment on the car show?
Yes, we do. So we do have a DJ that's coming in from Boston Sound Choice, and they're absolutely amazing.
Oh,
So-
the DJ?
Yeah, he's a DJ.
And what do you specialize in, rap or?
Oh gosh, no.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm a DJ, but I'm an old DJ. I do 50s, 60s stuff.
Yeah, he does a variety of like classic music for car shows.
Yeah.
Then he'll also do modern rock.
Well, the
modern music.
60s music, the Beach Boys brought car music.
They did.
It made it very, very popular, and it was a tremendous amount of car music in the early to late 60s. So that's also very entertaining at car shows because,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, you can see a lot of the cars that you're hearing about, like the GTOs and.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be plenty of GTOs at
Yeah.
Cars in the Park.
Gran Turismo, that's what that stands for.
That's amazing.
It actually took a Pontiac Le Mans and they dressed it up
Yeah.
and turned into quite the car.
Sure did.
and quite popular. I mean, I would have wished I could have had one when I was a kid, but I didn't have enough money to have one. But
Yeah.
okay, the show's going to run from 9 to 3, and rain or shine.
No, so
Yeah, you can't get them to come out in the rain. I
No.
know. I ran into that. We had a time when it rained early on in a Sunday morning, and I was scared any cars would show up because these guys will not come out. There's a drop of rain out there.
Yeah.
exactly. So we're praying for good weather.
Yeah, and you need it for a long period. You can't have, if it rains at
Right.
all in the morning, they don't want to go on the roads while they're wet.
Exactly. Yeah, they're not going to take their cars out if there's any
Right.
rain out, or even the chance of rain. So
Yeah.
we're praying for good weather for that day.
Now, being that you're fifth, you've built up a reputation now, so you tend to get even more. Every year you get more cars.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The first year we did really well. I was surprised how good we did, and every year it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So last year we had about 220 vehicles that showed up.
220.
220. Yeah.
Wow.
And there was over 3,000 people in attendance. So
Wow.
it's definitely getting bigger.
You have professional judges.
No, so basically it's people's choice. So those who register their vehicles, they get to vote for their top 3 choices. And so we do a top 25 for the trophies, and then whoever gets the most votes gets the best in show. And so it's one trophy would get awarded to one person.
So it's people
each.
that have cars
Mhm.
that vote.
Yes, yes.
So you're voting amongst your peers.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. Now, that can be pretty complicated, can it? To be total all that and get that done before.
It's not too bad. We usually give about 2 hours before we do the announcements for the winners, but it works out pretty good. We found out that's the easiest way for us to do it for the voting.
And then you give out, 25 trophies, so you
Mhm.
take the top 25.
Yes,
So the person who got the most votes gets the top trophy and
gets
then
the
down.
best in show. Correct.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
pretty exciting.
Yeah. And where you having, and people are pretty honest about it too. They're
They
not
are.
how for their own.
You'd be surprised. They really don't.
Yeah, and if everybody voted for their own, you'd have a big problem.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, how do everybody get the same amount of votes? One. No, you don't allow everybody in the party to vote, just one person per.
Just one person.
Yeah, I
So
was gonna say, 'cause that could, so there's no way of scamming this. This is actual,
yeah, it's pretty legit.
yeah.
We try.
What do you find that, is it the most unusual that gets the most votes, or is it the cleanest, or?
Honestly, there isn't really one particular thing that
No.
really kind of, there's just so many cars that are just so unique, and like people seek after like different things for each car. So like, if you look at like the underneath of a car, and like somebody's got maybe like mirrors or something that are showing how clean the underneath of the undercarriage is, like
Yeah.
a lot of people look for like that type of thing, how crazy the motor is, how much
Yep.
horsepower it has, the straightness of the body lines on a vehicle, the paint.
We had a guy
it's
with a
literally
Toyota
everything.
Camry, and I ran into him at they used to have the car show up at Green Hill Park.
They still do that.
They still have the Green Hill?
They sure do, yeah. It's
I thought
called
that was-
Cars of Summer now.
Yeah, but don't they have it in Oxford now?
I'm not sure what the one in Oxford is, but I do know
I
that
thought
they
that
have
was
it
the
in Green
Cars
Hill.
of Summer now. I'm not sure anyway, I'm
Yeah.
not into the car shows anymore, but he had a Toyota Camry, pretty standard car, but he would win trophies all the
Yeah.
time because the thing was it was spotless.
It's perfect.
I mean,
he-
inside, outside, underneath, everything.
I'm pretty positive that he came last year to our show, and he puts all of his trophies on display
Yes.
around the car.
Yeah,
I've seen
and
it.
there's nothing unique about the car.
The car is amazing, though.
The car is so,
It's pristine.
yeah, it is. It's just unbelievable. I mean, because I got a Solara, which is a Camry, and it's pretty good shape, but it's not pristine.
Yeah, his Camry is just.
I don't know how he does that. How does
So
he drive
clean.
on a road and keep it that way?
I don't know.
I mean,
It's got to stay garaged or something.
especially some of the roads in Northbridge, I have to dig at the highway department. I'm not happy
Oh
with,
dear.
with my street right now. They're gonna repay part of it, but they're gonna do it all. But anyway, yeah, this is, now you got a lot of room there. People don't realize, they think, oh, how big is it? You don't use the lower parking lot.
No, so we don't use our parking lot at
No,
all.
that's used for people coming to the,
That is correct, yeah. It's 7.5 acres that we have in Whitin Park.
yeah,
Um,
that expands quite a bit,
it's huge, yeah. 7.5 acres is a lot.
yeah. Now, do you
So-
put them on the tennis court?
No, we don't put them on the tennis court. Anything that's grass is where the cars park.
But that's a lot of grass when
There
you get
sure
down by
is.
the pool and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got it all cleaned up now from the, that horrible storm?
Oh, yes, yeah. Everything's all squared away now, so it's all taken care of.
You know you had quite a mess there.
Yeah, that was crazy,
Yeah.
but it's...
Pool back in shape?
Yep, everything's all fixed now, thank God.
I know his mom was concerned.
Yeah,
because
about the pool and
You're
everything.
talking a lot of money, and they
I
weren't.
know.
It didn't look like the insurance was going to cover it.
Yeah.
And who knew? You know, I mean, and you work on a tight budget every year.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, you go year to year hoping I can raise enough money to keep to stay alive.
That's how the center runs is, you
Yeah.
know, a lot of it is on donations.
Yeah,
'Cause,
you know,
it's
people don't-
private nonprofit.
You charge for a membership,
Mhm.
but that doesn't cover anywhere near the cost of operating a building that size and everything that you have available.
No, that is correct.
So you really do need the donations, and that's what you do with the fundraiser. You do a lot of fundraisers.
Yeah, we do 3 giant fundraisers in the park, which are,
Yep.
and Cars in the Park is one of those, and that's essential to, you know, helping to do our fundraising efforts for the year.
When who started the Cars in the Park? Was Charlie the director at the time?
So I started Cars in the Park 5 years ago.
Oh, you came up with the concept.
Yeah,
Ah.
so, but the thing is that we used to have a car show about 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's because I thought there was
And
before, yeah.
I'm not 100% sure what the name of it was, but my friend Dominic Masiello, he was in charge of
I know
running that.
Dominic.
Yeah, so
Oh, is he the one who helped you put this together?
not Cars in the Park. He did help me kind of get like the information about when they were doing it 20 years ago. So this is like the revival of that
Oh.
cruise night that they used to have all the time, and then their giant show. And what was really cool about Cars in the Park is, surprisingly, the first year that we had Cars in the Park was the same date as the last year that they ran theirs, which was August 23rd. So
Oh.
it was really neat because it was literally like the revival of this car show coming back. And it really turned out to be amazing, so.
Dominic runs a car show every Thursday night over at
Hebert's,
the
yeah.
Hebert Candy Mansion.
And he helps out with the Cars of Summer that's at Green
He
Hill
did
Park as well.
he did a car shows here a couple of times.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. The
He
cars
is.
that he has, and he dedicated every year comes to our show.
Works at Walmart.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah. I run into him every now and then there.
He's fabulous, yeah. I can't say enough good things about Dominic. He's helped me out over the years so much.
Well, he knows everyone in the
Everybody.
car show
He
business.
sure does.
Oh my God! I mean, if you want to do a car show, he's the guy to do it with because he
Oh,
has just
absolutely.
got all the connections. He gets them here because they all know him.
Yeah,
He knows how to get a hold of people. Because I mean, you can't have a car show without some good cars.
exactly. And you got to have the car enthusiast to back
Yes.
it up as well. So that love for the cars is
Now,
is
do you get
essential.
vendors that come in as well?
We sure do. This year we have 18 vendors, so the most that we've ever had, which
Wow.
is great. We have everything from, you know, the Unibank is coming, Herb Chambers of Toyota is coming. We have somebody who's doing tattoos, so not real tattoos, but henna tattoos. So it should be pretty cool.
Do you ever talk to Sue Gulowinski?
I do, yes. She will be there.
Yeah, Get Dirty.
Yes, Just Get Dirty.
Just
yeah.
Get Dirty.
Yep, she's going to be there as well.
Oh.
So she's going to have all of her apparel there, everything from, you know, trucks to
They also have
hot
a race
rods.
car.
Yes, she has gosh, what is it? It's a Cobra.
Yeah,
A Ford
I think
Cobra?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they bring the race car out, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, are you talking about
Sue Gulowinski.
the Tom Pitcat is his name?
Yeah, I don't know. I know they had a race car.
Yeah, I believe it's Stan Mertz also does that too, the Roundy Round track. She sponsors that.
Midget racer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are actually motorcycle engines.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's so small. But those things, you know, a motorcycle can go pretty fast.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And, yeah, they're motorcycle engines, and it's a steel, a frame, but it's lightweight. And they used to have them in Westboro, well, you don't remember Westboro Speedway.
No.
If you remember where the Stop and Shop is in Westboro, BJ's used to be there as well.
Yeah, I know where BJ's
Well,
was.
that, originally they call it Speedway Mall or something like that, Speedway something or other. Because that was actually Westboro Speedway,
Okay.
and it was a track, it was a brick track, high banked, almost straight up, almost
Oh my
45
gosh.
degrees, and 90 degrees rather. And it was a stock car track. And as a kid, I used to go to it all the time. In fact, I knew of some of the drivers, and we had people from Northbridge that raced there on a regular
Oh,
basis.
that's so cool.
And
That's
I
so
remember
cool.
taking a ride around in Stinky Gagnon, John Gagnon's car, and I mean, it was quite the experience to just go around that track. You're going fast enough that even though it was, you think you would tip over, you don't because you're going so fast.
That's amazing.
And used to have demolition derbies and the whole bit.
Those were a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Been to a couple at Thompson before.
It was just as good a speedway as you can have down in Thompson.
Oh, that's amazing.
But then it closed. You know, you'd only have so many, and I guess the owner probably found it was made more money putting a mall in, a shopping center.
Yeah.
Speedway Shopping Center, that's what it's called.
Speedway
And that's where it got its name from.
so cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. And, you know, we also had a drag strip down in Connecticut, Colchester, Connecticut Dragway, which
Really?
is now used by the magazine, Consumers Magazine, to do tests. I used to go down there. Now you gotta go up to New England Dragway,
Yeah.
Right.
up in Epping.
Epping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
can
you
go
know,
there.
it's not as popular as it was back in the 60s.
Drag racing?
Drag racing, you know, you don't hear the popularity it was, well, back when I was a kid, I mean, that was everything, because we did drag races in the streets.
Yeah. Yeah,
Everybody was, you built up, you know, you had the cars, and I had my own cars. I had a 55 Chevy, I had a 55 Ford,
Nice.
you know, I mean, we used to race and all that stuff, and the thing is, gas was 25 cents a gallon, so,
Yeah.
you know, even though we didn't make it as much money as we make now, the gas was still cheap enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, those days ended in the early 70s with the oil embargo, and, you know, you couldn't get big enough engines. Now you can't get small enough.
Yeah.
I think street racing might be, coming back around with, especially with like the Street Outlaws that's on now TV.
Well, there is some, you know, the general manager over at the WCRN, Chris Thompson, familiar name, but he's not the same though.
Okay.
He was down in Philadelphia visiting, his wife was down there, and he went down later on for a few days because his sister-in-law lives down there.
Mhm.
He had a rental car. And he was telling me, he says, I'm driving back to the airport and I'm following my GPS on a phone,
Yeah.
and it's taking me on all these streets. He says, all of a sudden, I'm on the street and I'm next to this guy with this hooked up Pontiac Firebird,
Really.
and they got me lined up. They're going to have a drag race.
Oh my God.
And he says,
Really?
I'm on the street.
Rental.
And he said, I'm trying to tell this guy, I'm lost here. I don't want to end it. So the guy says, well, look, you're stuck now. He says, I'm not going to charge you.
Yeah.
I guess they charge him to race.
Oh my God.
And I'm not going to charge you. So he says, just go through the act because there's nothing I can do now.
Yeah.
And this is
Just do it.
illegal. But
Well,
they
yeah.
pull us off. And they do it till the cops come.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I wondered how.
So he says, here I go. He says, all of a sudden this person drops the flag down, and and I'm going putt, 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 and this guy with the Pontiac Firebird goes flying down.
Oh my
Jeez.
gosh.
And I said, that's amazing. I said,
That must have been a sight to
and I
see.
guess this happens all the time.
Mhm.
Really?
I'm sure
Yeah,
it does.
In the cities, they have, they'll block off an area
Yeah.
and have a race. Well, you probably saw that with the movies that are out there,
There's a Fast and Furious.
Fast
all that
and
stuff.
Furious,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we never had drag races like that. We never had them big crowds. I mean,
Yeah.
but in Northbridge, there wasn't a lot of places where you have a quarter-mile stretch.
Yeah.
Not that
Straight,
flat.
straight
Yeah.
highway.
Yeah.
Right.
you know, but you used to leave a lot of rubber on the road.
Yeah.
And there, I wouldn't do that today because the tires cost too much.
Yeah.
They're pretty
That's true.
expensive, yeah.
But yeah, getting back to your show now, so you're getting bigger every year.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, every year it grows.
Now you find them coming in from all over New England, right?
All over New England. We also had somebody past couple years that was coming from Long Island.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
It's-
quite a trip. And the thing is, all they're going to get is the trophy. But I think what it is, these car enthusiasts, they just like showing off their cars.
That's a
They love
fact.
it.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah, I mean, part of the part of the thing, the thrill of owning the car is showing the car.
Well, a lot of hard work and effort goes into
Oh,
these
yeah, I
cars,
mean,
and it's like
Some
their
of
heart
these
and
guys,
soul.
they
really.
build them themselves from the ground up.
They
Yeah.
sure do.
And, you know, the guys, if you're rich enough, you buy one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But some of these cars can go for mega bucks.
That's true. Like my boyfriend, he has a 1970 Duster that he's working on. Well, it's done,
Classic.
but he's constantly always doing upgrades to it. And he got that car when he was 13 years old, literally bare bones. There was nothing to it.
Wow.
Pulled it out of the weeds in New Hampshire,
Wow.
and it's amazing. Like he painted the car himself, did all the body work himself, did all the motor work. The car is phenomenal.
Yeah, Chrysler car, Mopar,
Yes.
was famous for muscle cars back then.
Yes.
Actually, they came up with the Roadrunner,
Mhm.
and it had a horn that went beep beep,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like the Roadrunner in the cartoon.
They
Yeah,
have
yeah,
the
yeah.
logo that's actually on that car.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, and the
Roadrunner.
logo is the Roadrunner from the
Yes.
Looney Tune cartoons.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
The horn, I actually know a little bit about Mopars. That's kind of my thing.
Oh.
So on the steering wheel is the Roadrunner logo, and it literally says beep beep right on
Really?
it. So
That's
when you
funny.
Yeah,
hit the
if you
horn,
blow the horn, it
Yep.
goes
Yeah.
beep beep.
Yep.
That's funny. Really.
It's
Had
awesome.
a
Very cool.
383 engine,
Mhm.
which was a big engine.
Oh, absolutely.
That Hemi was an unbelievable engine.
Oh my God, yeah.
They were really they owned the drag strips back in your day.
Yeah.
They did with the Superbirds too,
Yeah.
for NASCAR.
In fact, he had a guy with a Barracuda. It had that big windshield in the back.
Mhm.
Yep, Hemi
He
under
mounted
glass.
his engine in the rear. It was called Hemi under glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
He owned the that guy would just go two wheels all the way down.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to see him in person?
Yeah.
Because I was, luckily enough to
Well,
have
that was
the
back. I
opportunity
saw
to
him
see
in
him.
Colchester, Connecticut, back in when it was originally first started out, back in
That's so
the
cool.
'60s.
I got to see him at Mopars at the Strip in Las Vegas a few years back, and then also we got to see him.
Can't be the
at-
original guy because he's too old now.
No, actually, it might have been.
Probably his son.
Maybe his son, yeah. And I also got to see it again at South Mountain Dragway, which is in Pennsylvania,
Oh,
Boiling Springs, Pennsylvania.
so
So,
you're into the drag racing
yes.
because your boyfriend or?
Yep. So he races the 70 Duster, and
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he does. It's a quick car. It's pretty
Oh.
fast. Yeah, it's 11 seconds right now. So, but
Wow.
he's hoping with the new upgrades that he'll probably knock off at least a second or two.
You're running a 383 engine?
No, he has a 340, so it's a small block 340.
Oh, that's the later version.
Yeah, it's a 70.
Yeah.
It's definitely really cool.
That's cool.
He's very proud of it, and I've seen it come from nothing to something, and it's absolutely amazing what he's able to do to these cars, and he's putting a Pro Charger on it, and so that's gonna really
See,
make it
today
scoot.
they measure engines by liters. But I go back to the days when it was cubic inches.
Yep.
Mhm.
And like you had the Chevy had the 409,
Mm-hmm.
Ford had the Chrysler had the 413.
Yep.
Ford, the biggest was 420, I think it was.
Okay. I don't know too much about Fords.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the Mustang, it was they used the Mustang as a race car. That was their big. But you also took a lot of the compacts. The Ford Fairlane would be hopped up, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, those they were great cars, and they were they're really nice looking cars.
Oh, gorgeous.
The
All of
styling,
them.
I mean, I like the styling today, but it's not the same.
It's
No.
definitely not the
It's
same.
different, yeah.
Like, the body lines aren't the same.
No.
Like, it's, everything now is just very sleek and modern.
Yep.
When, like, back then, everything was wide and low to the ground, and, you know, the body lines were very unique.
Well, it's a day before the McPherson struts, where they could compact that fender in the front. You had the big fenders because you had the shocks and you had to have the A-frame and for the wheels.
Yep.
And it was a lot more complicated, maybe probably leaf springs in the rear. So you had to have a lot more room underneath.
Yeah.
And you had chassis. You don't have a chassis anymore. You used to have a metal frame chassis.
Right.
Everything's unibody today.
Mm-hmm.
And actually the cars today, they're designed to be safer.
Right.
And you think, well, geez, how can it be safer when you don't have all that steel? But
Yeah.
they made the collapse like an accordion.
Right.
So they absorbed the shock.
Yeah, yeah,
Whereas they didn't back then. That's why they were more dangerous, because you bounced around in the car and you might, of course, you didn't have seat belts either.
yeah.
A lot of them didn't.
But, you know, so cars are much better today.
Yeah.
They're built better today.
Right.
The mechanics is better today, even though there's a lot more things that go wrong because there's computers and,
Yeah. If there's something wrong with the computer, then
Yeah.
you can't really do much.
but that's why you see all,
unless you get the right equipment.
I mean, that's why you see cars 10 and 15 years old that are still looking good and
Oh,
still
yeah.
on the
Yeah.
highway because they're built better.
Mhm.
And you've got these long-term warranties. You can buy extended warranties because these insurance companies aren't selling them because they're nice people. They're selling them because they make money on them because the cars are more dependable.
Yeah.
But, you know, the old days, I couldn't fix a car today. Because, you know, fuel injection, that was something that you really saw.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on a race car, if anything. Now it's standard.
Mhm. Right.
And, you know, high-pressured fuel pumps.
Yeah.
Every car's got them now. Back in my day, it was a mechanical fuel pump.
Mhm.
So it was simpler to fix things.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, especially with like carburetors and stuff, they're easy
Yeah,
to
you had
fix.
carburetors and,
Because you can fix it yourself, like in your own garage if you needed to.
yeah. I mean, if you had dual quads, two 4-barrels, or you had three 2-barrels,
Mhm.
it was a little more complicated because you had to adjust to it. But you could handle that. I remember my father adjusting the points. You don't have points anymore because you have electronic ignition.
Mhm.
And every spark plug got its own coil.
Yes.
Really.
Well, back then you had one coil and you had a distributor cap.
Mhm.
Well, he used to adjust the points, and the points would, every time it wanted to spark, the point would have to meet. He could adjust them with a matchbook. Yeah.
It's interesting.
I mean, my father grew up in the Model A and the Model T. You
That's
know?
amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, things have come a long way. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, technology is amazing.
Oh, and I say the cars today are really much better. I mean, air conditioning is standard.
Mhm.
God, when I was a kid, that was rare.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, if your car came with factory air, it
You know,
was
at one point,
worth a lot.
you bought a new car, you paid extra if you wanted a heater.
Mhm.
Imagine that?
Yeah. Whereas if people don't have it today, they're like,
No.
Luckily
that's-
now they have this company that's called Vintage Air, and Vintage Air you can put into your classic car or muscle car or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, without it even being noticed.
Exactly.
Really?
So you can get AC in there and make it look like it belongs in there.
Yep.
It's amazing.
But I'm saying, back then, you didn't come through with it. It didn't come through with it.
Mhm.
It wasn't even, in a lot of cases, it wasn't even available,
yeah,
unless you bought a Cadillac,
Mhm.
or a Lincoln,
yeah,
or a Imperial. Those were the three big cars.
yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Those had it in.
AC, yeah. The so a car that I bought, which is a 1970 Dart. I'm lucky because my car came with factory AC. So
The 70 Dart.
yeah, 70
Yeah.
Dart.
Well, that's when it was optional.
Mhm. It was an option though.
Yeah,
So I'm excited about that.
yeah.
That's cool.
We're restoring that car, so right now it's on the rotisserie. So hopefully it'll be at Cars in the Park soon. A few years from now, hopefully.
But Dodge Dart was was a muscle car too.
Yeah.
So in some cases.
Yep, it absolutely was. Yeah.
They
it's-
had some models that were specifically made for racing.
Mhm.
Yeah, of course, Chrysler Mopar has always been big on the racing scene.
Oh yeah, they definitely have. Yeah, everything that was, like the RT, so it was made for race and track. So,
Yep.
the Superbird, which was, dominating NASCAR at the time in the 70s, they literally knew what they were doing.
Now, back when I got my license, I had to know how to drive a Standard.
Yeah.
You don't see a Standard today.
No.
Yeah, it's difficult to find something like that.
I mean, I have Standard
Everything's
optional with
automatic.
my Solara, but it's automatic, and you press the button. and
Mhm.
put-
Yeah, that's
One,
what.
two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
There's no clutch.
yeah, yeah.
But I mean, my first car was a '55 Chevy, had an automatic transmission, and a 265 first Chevy V8. Well, the engine went. We converted over to a 283 block,
Okay.
and then after that, the transmission went.
Oh,
Jeez.
Well, we did all our own work.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We took out the automatic transmission, threw in a Standard, put a new bell housing, put in the clutch and pressure plate, the whole bit, drilled holes through the floor, put a stick shift.
That's awesome.
I mean, it could do all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You couldn't do that today,
No.
I know, it definitely makes it difficult now to do something like that to a modern
especially not at front-wheel drive.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
I did all that in my, in the backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Jack it up with
Wi-
a.
Without any real knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you were mechanically enough inclined, you could do it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I remember when my automatic transmission went in Worcester, and my friends, the LaValle family, they were in the milk business. We went there with the milk truck and towed it from Worcester back to North.
That's funny.
That's great.
But I knew the transmission was going because when the reverse gave out,
Oh,
Yeah,
I couldn't back up anymore.
yeah.
oh that's awful.
But, you lived with that stuff as a kid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I used to say, the only thing I really need with my car is a good heater and a radio.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That's funny.
And,
No, we
and
just
then I had a
concentrate.
Corvair at one time, and that was a 4-on-4. I loved that car,
Yeah.
like a little sports car.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a rally type car.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Of course, you could find the Corvair today. They're classics.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right.
It was a two-door, and I used to love driving that thing.
Yeah.
But the heater was horrible because they were air-cooled engines.
Mm-hmm.
And so you didn't have the radiator water to heat the car.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the heater was horrible.
Didn't heat the car up at all.
You wouldn't know, hardly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to
That's awful.
they used to make an electric heater you could put in to plug into your cigarette lighter
Oh my goodness.
Really?
for the Corvair. 'Cause so your window could defrost.
Yeah. Wow.
That's crazy.
And then you had the dimmer, you see this stuff online now. People, do you recognize this? It was the pedal, you had the little button on the floor
Oh yeah.
to dim your lights.
Yeah,
The-
that's what my girlfriend's dad has a bunch of like older cars, and the GTO he has
Yeah.
for the high beams. You have
Yeah.
a little button
Yeah.
on the floor with
We've
your
got
foot.
that in the
Yeah,
Duster too.
that's cool.
Yeah, high beams, low beams.
Yeah, I was driving home from Worcester one night, and my headlights gave out.
Yeah,
I didn't know what was the matter.
yeah,
I had to drive home on parking lights. The police pulled me over. I said, I got no lights. What am I going to do? He said, well, let me go. I drove home, and next morning I go out, and it had rotted.
Really?
Yeah, the switch had rotted on
oh
the floor.
my God.
really.
I replaced the dimmer switch. It was all right.
Yeah, 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 that's funny.
You know?
Yeah, we couldn't figure it out. She was driving it just a couple months ago, and she was trying to figure out how to dim because she kept getting flash for the high beams. and
Kept
then-
on, you're trying to use
Tried to use
the turn
everything.
signal, right?
Yeah. And then she finally figured it out. Where was the little button on the floor?
I'm so short. I gotta try to like
If
reach
you
it.
took,
Like I can't
if you
reach
took
it.
someone from the 1960s and brought them to the present without ever seeing a car
Yeah,
in between, right? They'd be lost.
Oh
they wouldn't
yeah.
know what to do with everything.
What's
yeah.
all this stuff on the column?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
What, you turn your lights on there?
yeah.
And digital mile per hour readings, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
everything, the heads up displays, all that.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is now you got your turn signal, you got your
Yeah,
Dimmer,
everything's on
your-
those.
and
Radio
your fog
volume,
lights, your
everything.
radio, everything. I mean,
Everything's
cruise
on.
control. It's
Yeah.
all in these.
All
Everything's right on
multifunctioning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
call
It's
people
unbel-
on your cell phone from it and everything
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Voice
I mean,
over.
now, especially today
They
now,
have the
cars are
Bluetooth.
coming through
Oh,
with,
yeah.
that are coming through, that are Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable
It's crazy.
where we come.
Yeah.
I mean, I got satellite radio, I love it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You
You
know what I
get
mean?
everything.
My mom's car, you can tell the car to set the temperature to this, like set temperature to 75.
Oh, you
then
can
will
talk
do-
to it.
Yeah, you talk to it and
No
it sets
way.
it for it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
The only problem with this stuff is the more you put in, the more you got to go bad.
If anything,
Yep.
computer-wise, because it's all computer generated, if anything shuts down, then
Yeah.
That's what like her, what is it? What just went out for her? Her power steering. She doesn't have fluid. It's computerized. So
Yes, I heard that
It's
now,
yeah,
yes.
it's electronic.
it's electronic.
Yeah, it's
so
electronic.
she just went to. We were driving home from my grandma's and it gave out, and there's nothing you could do. You have to bring it into the dealership. They have to fix it electronically because it's all just something that they can do. Yeah.
It's so
was
crazy.
Now, was she able to drive it? Because
She wasn't. She
No.
couldn't turn the wheel at all. Like literally, she would have to like, my dad and her like physically like.
well, how do you
hold the-
drive it?
You don't. She had to get it towed right from my grandma's all
Well,
the
what
way.
happens if you break down somewhere?
I know, and then
You're in
it's
trouble.
just crazy. Yeah.
You gotta call AAA or
So
something.
yeah, we called AAA, towed it right through.
My wife had a Saab convertible and the power steering belt went.
Oh.
And she was still able to steer it, but she had a
Yeah,
hard time.
She had a hard time. Yeah,
That's the other thing, back in in the 60s, you didn't have a lot of power
yeah,
steering.
yeah,
Very rare, that was an
Yeah.
option too.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you're used to driving.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But Mopar did have the push-button transmission.
Oh, really?
And a buddy of mine had a 59 Plymouth convertible,
Oh, that's cool.
and we would, he'd have it in neutral
Mm-hmm.
with the push button and rev up the engine, rev it,
Yeah.
and when you're ready to go, you press the drive and vroom.
Really? That's cool.
It was- yeah, I don't know if he was killing the transmission.
Yeah.
But it worked good. It worked well,
Probably.
yeah. You know, you didn't have to let the clutch off.
Yeah.
You used to call you power shift, where you just pop that clutch,
Yep.
pop the clutch right off, take your foot right off and it pop up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
but you wrecking the hell out of your clutch and your throttle bearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was where you raced, and that's
Yeah.
what you did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's fun.
Or if you power shift was you didn't even use the clutch, you just shifted through the
Yeah.
gears without, because you start out in first and you want to get into second, as your RPMs got up, and
Mm-hmm.
Oh
so
yeah.
it would power shift it. It
That's
was good,
crazy.
yeah. I used to, that was always, records were, songs were about too.
Yeah.
If you listen
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the
yeah.
songs,
That's funny.
it's amazing how that's why I like listening to stuff, it brings back memories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
I feel like I did that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny, though.
But it's great to see these cars because and especially, you know, when you get up to my age, you like to look back on
Yeah.
those are the best days of your life.
Yeah.
Brings back a lot of memories.
yeah.
My
yeah.
age, you get to see everything that was and what now it is as well. Like we never experienced anything
Right.
like that. Now you just
I mean, you can go to the new car shows they have,
Mhm.
like they have in Boston,
yeah.
and see what the new
people
cars are.
with
Go-
newer
and-
cars.
Oh
some,
yeah.
right?
So
Yeah.
the benefit of like cars in the park is it's for all years, makes and models. So
They bring new ones in too?
Mhm,
Yeah.
they sure do.
Well, imagine, what's his name, the car dealer, Toyota.
yeah, Herb Chambers. Yeah,
Herb Chambers.
They always bring in something new. They're always showing off. Like last year, they had their Toyota Tundra truck, and they were showing it off. It was a 2018 model, I believe, and it was gorgeous, absolutely
Yeah.
gorgeous. The truck.
And they
had-
come so loaded now.
They really do. Yeah,
But, you know,
like you could take it off roading. That
it's
truck.
costing
It's
you,
amazing.
Crazy.
Mhm.
it's costing you, you're talking $30,000 to $40,000 to $50,000 now
Oh, yeah.
for a car.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, that's what you paid for a house 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Money's different now as it
It's
was
crazy.
back then.
Even though, I mean, people are making more money, it's still a lot of money. $30,000 is a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
But you can keep a car now for 10 years easily.
Yeah.
Right. Easily, for
Yeah.
sure.
And, you know, back in the 50s and 60s, if you hit 60,000 miles on a car, that was the end of it. I
Really?
mean, time to let it go.
Mhm.
And most of the time was going to the junkyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
60,000 is nothing today.
No, you can do that
You
in
buy
like
cars
3
at
years
60,000 now.
Right.
With
Yeah.
some used cars and stuff.
Right.
They're still
Yeah.
in very nice condition.
Well, I got a Jeep Cherokee, that's my winter machine.
Mhm.
The Solara is my summer. It's got 20,000 on it.
Wow.
No problem.
That's still
Yeah,
not a lot.
yeah, yeah.
Those
No.
can go forever.
I mean,
those
I've had to
Jeeps.
replace things, but
Well, yeah.
Yeah, of course, but.
if
yeah.
you take care of it, I always use synthetic oil.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And it costs a little more, but
In the end, it will.
in the end, it works out.
That and also, you know, if you get your car washed, especially in this area, like if you get your car washed at least once a month, you know, it's
In
gonna.
the winter,
Yeah, especially in the winter.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah,
gonna
get-
help to keep that salt and
you get the
you know, the
salt off.
calcium off of it,
Yeah.
off of your car.
But see, they're mostly aluminum chassis, they're unibody and it's aluminum, so they tend to stand up better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They don't rot as quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, but they still have problems with some where the design allows the stuff to collect.
Where the drip
Mhm.
rails are and
I-
everything.
Yeah, I find that on
Yeah.
a Jeep Cherokee, they're all the same, they rot right around that wheel well in the
Yeah.
front.
Mm-hmm.
Because and I try to get up there with I have a power washer,
Mhm.
Okay.
get up there and blow it out, but you
Yeah.
can't, it's hard to keep up with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough to get every nook and cranny of them.
And that's the only time I drive it is in the winter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, today, what you can get with your cars, I mean, and now we're talking that possibly they're gonna start experimenting with the driverless cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw something about that. That's a little.
But
That's interesting. Very interesting.
one of the concerns, though, is even though they're driverless, you still have to be able to take over if it's necessary.
Yeah.
Right.
And the concern was with the legislature, and they were talking about in Massachusetts, because they have to get permission to be able to test these cars,
Mhm.
Yeah.
was people will become used to not even paying attention.
Yeah.
Right.
Like texting or something.
They'll be
and then-
texting,
yeah,
reading the
yeah, yeah,
newspaper or whatever, and instead of being concerned, you know, still keeping alert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though you're not steering, you're still gonna stay alert.
Yeah.
It's like being a driving instructor.
Yeah.
So, you know, and they say, you know, we're talking, yeah, that's gonna work, these cars are under control because it's gonna be computerized, and they got these sensors and everything else. But what about the car that doesn't have it, you
Yeah.
know, it's got a driver
Right.
there?
Exactly. That's.
That's one of the, you know, defensive driving is one of the biggest things you gotta do today. You
Yeah.
gotta watch what the other guy's gonna do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And especially about defensive driving, like one of our sponsors is the CMSC Auto School, which is in West Boylston. They are defensive driving schools, so they're amazing.
Yeah.
They have that skid school, which is really cool.
Yeah. A bunch of my friends took that. They said it was really cool.
It's definitely, you know, knowledge that you should definitely look into.
Well, defensive driving's been around for a long time
It
now.
really has.
And it's a very important factor, because, you know what you're doing, but you gotta watch out what the other person on the road is doing, because you never know what they're gonna
It's
do.
always the other person that you gotta watch out for too, like, cause you can be accountable for yourself
Yeah.
and
Right.
your actions for your vehicle, but not anybody else's.
You know, when you see someone with the turn signal on, that's all well and good, but the turn signal doesn't turn the car.
No.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, cause they
Same
might
with-
not actually be turning.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Well, you see the amount of people that you go and you bear right or something. People have turn signals on. They don't shut them off
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yep.
People
Right.
can think that
Mhm.
they're turning on a road or something. Yeah.
and another thing is, you know, a traffic light.
Mhm.
Traffic lights tells them to stop, doesn't mean
Yeah.
they're going to stop.
Right, exactly.
If you got driverless cars, well, that's a different situation, because of course the sensor will stop the car.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But when you don't have, which is good, that's a lot of good thing they got on these cars today, are these automatic braking systems.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
I've seen
brother's
that.
car, my mom's car has this little box right above the mirror, and if you're going, it's not gonna brake for you completely, but if you're going and it sees that you're not braking and there's a car stopped in front of you or braking, it will slow the car down and make you hit the car at 5 miles per hour instead of 35
Oh, it
miles
doesn't
per
stop
hour.
you, I think some.
There's some of them, yeah, that
Yeah,
will
they'll
stop
actually
you
stop
completely.
the car
Yeah.
completely, right?
Yeah, there's definitely some that do
Definitely
stop
some
now.
that will.
I've seen commercials for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really good, because it's gonna prevent accidents.
Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, what'll happen now, insurance companies, you have that feature in your car, will probably give you a better price,
Yeah.
Mhm.
knowing that you're less likely to get in an accident.
Yeah,
Less accidents, right.
But, I mean, there's so many, now they're coming through with driving lights,
Mhm.
something that we probably should have done years ago, because you see a car better coming at you if it has those driving lights on, even
Mhm.
during the day.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, like now in Massachusetts, you have to, if your windshield wipers are on, you have to have headlights on.
Yes.
Which
Yeah,
is,
the new
you
law.
still see
Yeah.
50% of people don't follow that rule, but
Oh, I know. That's why
Yeah.
they had to bring the fine down. And,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
But like my Jeep, I have a setting on there. If the wipers are on, I can set it that the headlights will go on.
that's good.
Oh, that's
yeah,
good.
That's nice.
So it's automatic.
Yeah,
I'm lucky where when I turn my car on, the lights are on all the
Yeah.
time. So.
Well, see, my Solera does that.
Yeah.
yeah, which is nice.
But on a Jeep, it doesn't, but they'll go on with the windshield wipers,
Mm-hmm.
as well as the windshield wiper has a sensor up above the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
If the windshield starts getting wet,
Yeah.
the
It's the same
wipers
with my
go
mom's
on.
car.
Oh,
It's
that's
like
cool.
automatic
Yeah.
wipers.
Oh, that's really
She
neat.
No,
has
you-
one too where it's like you can press the button on where the wipers are and it helps you keep in your lane. So like if you're going a little outside the lane,
Yes,
it'll
yes,
shake
it has
the
a
wheel a little
sensor.
bit.
Really?
Yeah, shakes
have
the
a
wheel a little
sensor that
bit and
keeps you in a
will
lane.
help you move back.
Yep.
So
I mean, I've seen the mirrors, like the side mirrors, where they've got the little light that
Yep.
shows that
Yeah,
like somebody's
yeah.
approaching you.
If someone's approaching
they
you,
have the
yes,
sensors.
it'll signal to you
Yeah,
which is good too.
that someone's
Honestly,
passing
yeah.
definitely
you.
good.
But it also makes people not look as much. So if they
Right?
see
Yeah, because they're like,
nothing
I
on the
can see
sensor,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
See, that's the problem with sensors too, is you start getting lazy and you're driving,
Exactly.
you're not really
Mhm.
doing
Exactly.
the job
Not
you're supposed
actually
to do.
paying attention to what's
Yeah.
approaching you on the side.
exactly. But yeah.
But it is, I mean, what's coming out with cars, I could never foreseen this 30 years ago.
No.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
But like I said, with the driverless car, but now with the GPS systems too, I mean, road maps are a thing of the past now.
Yeah.
Those-
I
There'll be
know.
people collecting those before
Yeah,
you know it.
Seriously.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, you can
Yeah.
get road maps on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you don't need to go in the gas station and pick up a map.
No. You just have
Sometimes
the
they
GPS.
do come in handy though, because sometimes
Yeah,
the GPS is
GPS
not
will
always
work.
accurate.
Yeah.
You're right, oh, I know. Well, the problem with the GPS is they'll bring you down streets that you're not supposed to go on.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
They made them one way.
Mm-hmm.
I had an incident though, without a GPS. I got an old army buddy of mine lives in Brooklyn, New York.
Mm-hmm.
And back in, it had to be in the late 90s, my son and I went down, we graduated from college, we went down to see a show down at, in Broadway show. So I called my friend up and to say hello to him.
Yeah.
Well, I went to his house, he wasn't home, and at the time I had a bag phone, which preceded the cell phones of today.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I calls him up at work, and he happened to be at work. He worked at the SUNY Medical Center in Brooklyn. He says, "Oh, I'm at work. Why don't you come and see me at work?" I said, "Okay." So, how do you get there? Well,
Yeah.
go here, go this
Yeah.
way, from his house to how to get to SUNY. So I'm driving down the street, and my son says, "I think you're going the wrong way." He says, "No, I'm going the way he told me." He says, "No, you're on a one-way street going the wrong way."
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh, jeez.
I said,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, look at these cars coming at me." And there was
around.
like a 3-lane, but it was 3 lanes
3
one
lanes
way.
one way, yeah.
Oh
So
my
I pulled
gosh.
around and, well,
Yeah.
anyway, I get there, I says, "Steve, for crying out loud." He says, "I didn't think about it because I never he don't have a car."
Yeah.
He walked to work.
Oh,
no.
jeez, that's funny.
He wouldn't own a car
He
in
didn't
Brooklyn
know,
because
yeah.
if I own a car, they'll steal it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah, but that's, it's like a
Because
Jeep.
that's the way he went.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's funny.
that's the way he walked to work. He never
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh,
You're
that's
like,
funny.
sorry, Harry.
But, yeah, the thing is, too, I mean, I had to go out to the Boston shipyard where all the cars come in.
Mhm.
This is when I was selling rubbish carts. I had a customer out there. And I put the GPS on. It's taking me through East Boston, up down these hills and side streets, and oh
Mhm.
my God.
Yeah, everywhere.
I said, there's got to be an easier way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It doesn't always take you the best way.
No,
Right.
that is true. Yeah.
Sometimes it's a setting that's inside it. Like we have Waze.
Yeah.
We use that
Yeah,
app a lot.
Definitely.
I mean, it definitely comes in handy, but
It's nice.
if you don't put like the right settings in there,
Yeah.
like you're gonna be going down back roads that you probably shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Because
like,
they're trying
oh.
to take you the fastest
The
way and will
quickest
put you
route.
down
Yeah.
wherever.
Well, see, I still use the dash mounted.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yep.
the Garmin.
I got a Garmin. I don't use the phone yet.
No.
It's an older one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Had it for a few years, but it's still,
They still work great.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
they'd like me to buy a new one.
Yeah.
But no, it's come down in price a lot. When they
Oh,
first
yeah.
came out,
Yeah.
they were about $400 or $500.
Yeah. Well, now people have all this stuff on their
But now you can get
phones
them on
that-
your
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what we use, and it tells us. I was in Worcester the other day, and it avoided construction for me, avoided this traffic, says
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
this route and everything.
Yep.
So
It definitely comes in
definitely-
handy,
Yeah, it definitely does. But
especially if you're
It's
making
also-
long trips too.
using the handheld device too while you're trying to drive.
If I
having to
get my
look down and
granddaughter
stuff.
with me, she doesn't have her license yet.
Yeah.
She knows how to use that
Yeah.
GPS.
Oh, yeah.
She'll tell, okay,
Yeah.
turn over here, go down this way.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, that's funny.
You know, but I mean, well, smartphones is another thing. That's come on, so far.
Yeah.
They really have, yeah. There's literally everything that you can do on a smartphone now that,
But now that brings another problem up with driving.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta get like the piece that, hooks up,
Yeah.
To the
right onto
dash.
the dashboard.
so like
yeah.
the suction cup piece, so you
Yep.
can put your phone right there and you can watch it.
Yeah.
It definitely helps, cause,
Yeah, and have it on speakerphone because you don't want to.
yeah,
But the legislature talked up. They debated making it against the law to use a cell phone.
In Rhode Island, they just did.
they just passed
Rhode
that,
Island did
yeah.
it, Connecticut did it,
Mm-hmm,
but Mass hasn't done it yet.
Yeah.
You can still use it, put it to your ear.
yeah,
Yeah.
But-
Well, it's because they know now that most cars, newer cars, most cars that people have
They
now,
are
you have Bluetooth.
yeah.
Well, the car comes with a Bluetooth.
You answer it
Yeah.
right on your steering wheel. You hang
Right.
it up on your steering
Now,
wheel.
my
you can
wife's
call.
car has that. She's a Ford
Mhm.
Fusion, but I can't seem to get it to work.
Yeah.
so.
My mom, she has a Chevy Malibu, and
Okay,
hers
yeah.
is the same way.
Yeah.
Well, some of them are hard to get for some reason they don't want to work. You got to go back to the dealer to get it done.
Really?
Yeah.
And
They're just not syncing up.
yeah, and then the dealer's going to charge you $100 just to walk in
Just
the door.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, exactly. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably figure it out eventually, but I don't drive a car that much
Mhm.
that it's worth it
To
to me.
know.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't have an either of mine, but I have a speaker that I can hook onto the
Hook onto
visor,
it, yeah.
Oh,
that's what
that's
my dad
cool.
has.
which is
too,
which is Bluetooth.
Yep,
which is
So that's what
nice,
I
too.
generally do.
Yeah,
those come in handy.
Yes.
definitely.
I mean, the technology today is just, I mean, and who knows what the future's gonna bring, but another part of the problem is, people are watching movies on their phone now while they're driving.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anything.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, well, the DVD will be a thing of the past, but
Yeah.
they were only available for the back seat,
Mhm.
Right, yeah.
for a good reason.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah.
But, I mean, now, people will mount their phone on the dash, and you can pick up a movie on your phone.
Yeah. Netflix or anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, Netflix, I had Netflix, I dropped it because I have Amazon now.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a Prime member. Why should I pay for 2 movie channels?
Right, exactly.
But that's the thing, you can download and you can watch it as you're going along.
Yeah.
And now, see, here's another thing, taking your attention away.
away,
Yeah.
yeah.
Everything.
I mean, it's,
Snapchat, everything that they have, texting, sending pictures. But
Yeah,
but look what it's doing now with, will car radios be around?
Mhm.
Because people will be going online.
Yeah.
well, it's
people
just
have-
like the tapes.
Yeah.
Like, all cars used to come standard with like a tape deck,
Yeah.
and now they don't.
Or even
Right,
CD
well, I heard
players.
that,
How
I
many-
heard they're not putting CD players in anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That
That's
it's-
awful.
No,
I live
instead of
on
a CD
CDs.
player, you got the computer, you got
Yeah, the
it's like a
Bluetooth and-
smartphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can hook it up to that
Yeah,
instead.
built right in, and so everything you plug in the, what is, flash drive, what do you call it?
The
thumb
aux cord?
drive.
A thumb
Or
drive thing.
USB.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or even, now you'll be just putting a chip in
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's crazy.
with all your music on it. I mean,
Mhm.
the memory becomes smaller and smaller,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
and you'll have 1,000 songs, and,
Yeah. It's crazy.
and where I'm in the radio business, that's not good news.
No. I know.
But I think, what you gotta do
I'm
is
sure
be
they
more
work it out,
entertaining, you
yeah.
gotta come up
Yeah.
with ways of being entertaining.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
talk shows definitely are still.
Yeah.
I still
Huge.
listen to talk shows
Yeah.
when I'm driving. Like if it's a longer drive, you get sick of music. You do at a
You
point in
do.
time when you're.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And talk shows feels like you're interacting. It's
Mhm.
nice.
Right.
I like it. Yeah.
I think you're in it.
Yeah.
You're in the conversation with them.
Exactly.
right, well, you can,
Yeah.
when people call in now.
Call in,
Oh, yeah.
from their-
everything.
their
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
That's why I work for a station that does 90% talk shows. They have music at night, but
Yeah.
Okay.
uh, during the day, there's news in the morning, and then it's talk shows.
Yeah.
That's
Very
awesome.
cool. That's awesome.
Talk shows are what saved AM radio.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we gotta wrap it up.
Oh,
7:55.
See how fast that hour went?
Definitely
I
did.
know.
So I wanna tell everybody, next week, August
18th.
18th,
Yes.
summer's almost over,
I know.
but
Time for
here's
the
a
last
great,
hurrah.
great time, a good hurrah before you go back to school.
Mhm.
School starts in about another 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a great time, the whole family.
Yeah.
You can show your kids these cars from way back when, the muscle cars of the 60s, and they got some even older stuff that will be showing up, right?
Yeah, we have cars that are from the 20s, 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're,
I seen guys that had a whole toy display, a train display in the back of their,
oh
in
yeah.
the car, and there's a guy that has a popcorn thing. and-
Mhm.
Yeah, very cool.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's really amazing, the
really
cars
cool.
that you will see there, and it's well worth it, and it doesn't even cost you anything.
Nope.
No.
Just come right in.
Yeah.
If you want to make a donation, that's great, but you don't have to.
Nope.
And it's a great time,
Yeah, there's a little bit of something for everybody there.
yeah. Food trucks,
Food trucks, vendors. This year we
Vendors.
have a beer garden.
Beer
so,
garden, kids' activities,
Tons
everything.
and
You're
tons
gonna have kids'
of
activities?
kids' activities. Yeah.
you're gonna
Lots.
have the blow-up things, or
Yep. So we got 2 bouncy houses this
two
year.
bouncy houses,
Yeah.
okay, everybody have to have bouncy houses today, that's another
They're
thing
so
today.
cool.
I
Like the
know.
kids love
Kids
them.
love them.
Yeah, oh,
$4.95
yeah.
rental and Franklin Party rental. They're just absolutely amazing.
How many people you got last year?
It was about 3,000.
About 2,000, so you're probably gonna hit about 2,500, 3,000.
Yeah.
So get there early, opens 8 o'clock. Okay, you can get there plenty early, because you wanna get plenty of parking.
hmm
I know Hill Street fills up.
Hill Street definitely fills up.
Yeah.
If you need to park, you can park down Cottage Street. We're able to use the Oxman Propane parking lot, and then Unibank also lets us use their employee lot too. So
Oh, okay, the unit, that's a good thing now. If you come down and you see it's pretty crowded, that the Cottage Street
Cottage Street.
Unibank parking lot, really accessible, it's not a long walk.
We have
No, it's
3
close.
gates too, because there's a gate right on the middle of the
Yeah.
wall going up Hill Street
Yep.
too, so you
Right
can come right
across.
in there.
Yeah,
It's
you
not
come
a
right
far
in by
walk.
that Hill Street
Yeah.
gate.
That way you don't have to walk all the way up Hill Street. If you didn't want to, you can cut right across.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah,
nice.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta round it up. Well, hey,
Alrighty.
I'm gonna try and stop in. I got a extremely busy schedule, but I'm gonna try and get in there.
Please do.
definitely.
Please stop by. We'd
Yes.
love to see you.
Yeah. We will see you in about 3 weeks. We're gonna have Jeannie Hebert will be here the last week of August. We're gonna be talking about her Pet Rock program that's coming up, their show over at the Wyman Garden Field. See you in 2 weeks.